So, is there a wipe coming or is there not? If there is, what should you do? If there's not, what can you do to prepare for a wipe or keep the game interesting? Both will be discussed in a moment. Now, why do people think there is a wipe coming? Mainly because BSG is giving people endgame bullets and access to those bullets fairly easily. And a bunch of idiots are also suggesting it's a wipe because it's been like 6 months, which is just stupid because there's no actual reason why BSG would wipe on a timetable of, oh, last wipe was 6 months, so this one must be 6 months. So yeah, anyone that adds a time frame into their suggestion of why it's a wipe shouldn't be listened to at all. The endgame bullets is weird. Getting bullets and bandages is suggestion of either a wipe or that something bigger down the line's coming, or it's to get more people in the game. So doesn't necessarily mean there's a wipe, but that's why people are thinking there's a wipe, because people are saying it's unbalanced in the game, but it's not really. Depending on the server you're on, the time you play, all that depends on whether these people are even shooting at you or not. Now, if there's not a wipe, and why it's probably possible that it's not a wipe. BSG is trying to keep people happy, trying to keep people playing, and trying to entice new people to play. Now, before there's a wipe, or people think there's a wipe, all the content creators go on and act like there's going to be a wipe tomorrow and make people worried or talk or go to their Twitch or their YouTube, which then creates buzz, which gets new players in the game, which then obviously there's a bunch of Timmies running around that the streamers and that can shoot. So it increases the ability for BSG to earn money, to sell copies, and the content creators to make money. So just because they're saying it could be a wipe doesn't necessarily mean they actually think it is. It could be purely to make themselves money. And BSG is all about making money as well as a video game. So if they think they can bring in new people purely doing an airdrop thing or some quests, then they'll do it and they won't wipe. They'll just have a bunch of people with a bunch of bullets that eventually they'll run out of. So the game then balances back to the people that play most wipe. Also, there's an increase in suspicious playing and suspicious players around events such as this. And BSG is trying to get rid of the people that use BSG's own coding and pretty much hack the game without hacking the game, and use the actual game mechanics and the everything to increase loot, to make the scavs miss or make other players miss, and like high level stuff that you can't really judge, and even like make your death as a scav instead of a player, which you will get a lot more people banned and a lot more people out of the circulation running events like this. That people think it's a wipe, so they're running a lot more. There's a lot more player base on to catch these suspicious players. So it could just be a big net for BSG to catch all these suspicious players and everyone to report them because they're getting shot from places that are impossible to be shot from and everything. Or obviously you can't really fix the ones that find all this high tier loot because you can't tell unless you see them cheating, because they've actually hacked the game's RNG, more or less. Obviously, that's a very, very slim cheat base, but that is one of the things that PSG would be trying to get rid of as well. Hence, all the constant updates and updating the different software, and it's an ongoing battle. There'll always be the normal cheating style, but the loot tier is a pretty much a high tech sort of cheat loser that most of the time they're just streamers or content creators that are doing it because they find high tier loot and a lot of it and millions of dollars per raid, blah blah blah. They get a lot of clicks, they get a lot of money. So pretty much it's not your general player, it's your streamer or content creator on YouTube that's got 100k subscribers plus. So that can actually pay for people to do it for them. Now, if it's not a wipe, you should keep playing. You should keep honing your skills, looking for the loot drops, and then if I'm good at editing, there'll be maps up of woods and customs, the loot crates, or not loot crates, the caches for customs. You want to memorize as many as possible and run these loot runs in the dark, because when you start scratch, you'll be doing loot runs dark, light, scav, with armor, without armor, handgun. You'll be running it with all kinds of gear. So, and scavs are going to be aim bots like usual. So if you can run it without there being a wipe, so you run in better gear and memorize the path. Obviously, you'll run into PMCs come a wipe, but if you know these loot spots, you can either target PMCs going for these loot drops, look out for people in certain areas, or just cash in on situations that revolve around it. And customs and woods is pretty much what the two maps you're going to start with and start a lot on for a wipe. Learn the toolbox and technical crates and all those drops, because nuts and bolts are literally going to be worth a fortune. Get level 15 as soon as possible so you can sell stuff, but toolboxes and everything is where you want to hit. Get used to finding them, know where they are before wipe. Don't start learning how to do stuff after wipe. You want the bullets and everything. Like I got like 46 million. It would be silly of me, and I'd be an idiot, if I didn't try to do stuff to get better at wipe with all the money I got now, instead of, oh, it's wipe, I best learn where everything is in a packer in a ricochet helmet. So don't wait till wipe to learn anything. Don't be a fool. And just be prepared that during this time, with all the events, there'll be a lot more people that is sus, but just push through it. The game is worth pushing through it, and ignore all the content creators and streamers and all that are just whinging and whining and saying this sucks, that sucks. Just don't watch them, or just mute out their negativity, because a lot of them don't play it in its full capacity, like all the sounds, all the everything. They have stuff playing in the background, or they don't play the entire wipe. They play until they can't make money, and then they play a different game. So they pretty much, anyone who's complaining and doesn't actually play the game properly as intended should shut up. Anyone who's complaining without any sort of criticism, that's okay, this is wrong, but we're going to do this to counteract, or something positive to go with it, should be quiet as well, because they're just being a whingy whiny grandma. So do stay with the game, and if it wipes, don't shoot me. But I'll catch you next time.